Hello, my name is Alex Schadenberg, and I'm the Executive Director of the Euthanasia Prevention Coalition. This is just a simple video to tell you a little bit about what we do and what we're about as the Euthanasia Prevention Coalition. And we're involved as an organization since 1999, and I've been doing this work all that time. We were a national organization, but we are also an international organization, and that's been developed over time with the work that we have done. Our goal is very simple: to prepare a well-informed, broadly based network of organizations and individuals supporting measures that will create an effective social barrier to euthanasia and assisted suicide. So we recognize that the concept of euthanasia and assisted suicide is not only about a legal issue, it's also about a social and cultural issue. And this is very important to see how we react then with other organizations. And I'm going to go through our whole points here. We network with supportive organizations, and actually we network with some organizations that aren't supportive on some things we do, but are supportive on others. So for instance, we work with all organizations and any organization that shares some or all of our goals or purposes. And you see that actually, you saw that during the recent Bill C7 debate here in Canada, where we worked with supporters, we worked with organizations and individuals who opposed Bill C7. Some of them might disagree with us on other issues, and that's fine, but they were focused on why Bill C7 was a problem, and we certainly worked with them. And some of these partners included disability rights groups, medical groups, religiously oriented groups, and many, many more, legal groups, etc. So, we then have a coalition-based ideology where we work with others, but we also have members, supporters who we inform and we help to activate within our culture. Our outreach then is to work with more groups and individuals who oppose euthanasia and assisted suicide. We're always trying to grow. We do this by being involved in many different issues. EPC also helps people when a friend or a family member, etc., is concerned about decisions around euthanasia, assisted suicide, end-of-life questions. We receive calls all the time from people who are concerned about decisions that were made with a family member or a friend. We've also responded to many court cases and issues around these things, such as the recent, in 2020, we were involved with the Catherine Sorensen case. Catherine Sorensen's husband was someone who had been approved for euthanasia, but Catherine was convinced her husband was not only not dying, but also was not fully competent. And we helped her go to court to challenge the decision of the physician who said that yes, she was, yes, he could have euthanasia. She believed he did not qualify under the law. But there's been other cases we've worked. We had a court case in the early years that was the Scardoni-Hawryluk case. And that case concerned a woman, Mrs. Hawryluk, who had persistent vegetative state, or she was late dementia, you could say, and it was all around a medical treatment question. And our involvement in that case actually set a precedent for Ontario as to when treatment can be removed and when it can't be removed. These are the kind of issues, and many more. We were involved, obviously, in the Carter case. We were involved in, we've now been involved in almost 10 cases, and some of them, of course, to the Supreme Court of Canada. Research and information gathering. Well, EPC publishes monthly newsletters, but we also publish articles nearly every day on our blog at epcblog.org. It's become the largest source of information on euthanasia and assisted suicide in the world, the blog. It's been maintained since 2007. There are thousands of articles, literally thousands of articles on the blog dealing with these issues, and it's focused then on euthanasia, assisted suicide, end-of-life questions, how it affects disability, etc. It's very focused in palliative care, etc. We produce webinars, videos, pamphlets, conferences, etc. We submit research articles to government committees. We share information with groups and individuals for similar purposes, meaning that, for instance, during the Bill C7 debate, a lot of groups that submitted their information to the government used our information or our blog as a source of information so that they could then gather and respond to what the government was thinking of doing. Promotional materials. Well, we've produced several videos. Several years ago, we were involved with producing Turning the Tide. We've produced in 2016, the Euthanasia Deception came out. Fatal Flaws was released in 2018. So these are videos that have received basically international viewing. The Euthanasia Deception, we sold thousands of copies of. Fatal Flaws, we sold fewer, but still several thousand of copies of Fatal Flaws, as well as the digital versions of these that were sold. We've published and promoted several books. Now, this is not even pamphlets, these are books. So my book, Exposing Vulnerable People to Euthanasia and Assisted Suicide, we published. Recently, we published our commemorative compilation. Now, this is an important document because we looked at the most important articles that we published over the 20-year span, and we've republished them, and it gave you a good information on the history of what has happened. We were involved with the book, Do You Call This a Life? Blurred Boundaries in the Netherlands' Right to Die Laws. We published a booklet called Palliative Care, Not Euthanasia by Jean Eklund, who is our founding vice president. We were involved with producing the book Made to Live, and then Entangled 1 and Entangled 2 by Jen Roms. We were involved with promoting that in a big way. These are books that really uncover these issues of euthanasia and assisted suicide. And we distribute information. We work with groups and individuals from different perspectives, and that's what's very important. It's not a single perspective on the issue that we are promoting. We have around 60,000 email contacts, and it's growing all the time, 13,000 Facebook contacts, and thousands of people who still receive our mail, regular mail. And so this is a major distribution system for promoting issues. I'll tell you honestly, you know, the first is the book Made to Live. This was written by Dr. Saba. That's a very good book. We have sold hundreds of copies of Made to Live. The books by Wesley Smith, that he's not published a book recently. We sold hundreds of copies of those books, Forced Exit and things like that. EPC, we freely share our information with other groups for the purpose of information sharing and activating others. We do not charge for people wanting to reprint. We simply ask that they reprint our articles and provide the link to its original. We produce materials and information in multiple formats. Recently, we reproduced that USB card, which contains information on the topic. Now, that USB card is a great deal because we put all of the best articles about euthanasia and assisted suicide, research articles, written articles, etc., worldwide on that USB card, and then we update it. It's a phenomenal resource for people who are doing research on euthanasia and assisted suicide. Public education, well, we've organized conferences, informational events, including parliamentary lunches, regional conferences, national conferences, international conferences. We've organized conferences in Scotland and Ireland and in Rome and in other places. We have become the world's leading voice opposing euthanasia and assisted suicide, and we work with all groups that share our vision. But it's particularly a primary group that shares our vision is Compassionate Community Care. It's a charity which exists to also create an effective social barrier to euthanasia and assisted suicide. So we recognize the importance of the cultural aspect of the issue. Compassionate Community Care has a specific purpose, and we work with Compassionate Community Care, and that's a very important partner among other partners. Join Euthanasia Prevention Coalition today. There's so much more you can find out about us. You can go to our blog and go to our website, etc. Start receiving our newsletters and find out more about us. Please get involved because information, being involved and up to date, that makes a difference. Thank you very much.